Greetings folks, Overlooting is a dungeon crawler with a lot of inventory management and more importantly a touch of roguelite. In this game everything revolves around items and the good or bad decision you make with the one you're given. Everything in this game is randomly selected, even your abilities and power-ups are chosen from a pool and change every run. The gameplay loop is quite simple. You select your class, starting only with the dog. Later you unlock the cat, and after reaching the final area 5 times you unlock the last class, the shadow. Each class comes with unique perks, advantages and weaknesses. The cat is oriented toward recycling items. The dog is sturdy and knows plenty of tricks, while the final class, the shadow, ignores gear limitation, as the shadow can equip 2 shields, 2 rings or 3 boots, whatever you want, allowing for complex and otherwise forbidden gear combinations. Balancing offensive capability through counterattacks and swiftness, which grants a chance for an extra attack, with defensive stats like dodge, armor or guard, will decide how far you'll progress in the game. Every item you find belongs to a specific archetype or class. Any item can be equipped without restriction and will offer tiered bonuses depending on how many items of the same archetype you have. Sounds simple, right? Wrong. Your number of limbs is limited, so the number of possible interaction for other classes except the shadow becomes more limited. It's up to you to decide whether to break a set bonus because a more powerful item dropped. This choice, however, might ruin your build or help you clear the next encounter. The games will also offer power-ups of +1 to 2 different sets. The catch, well, you don't get to pick and choose, you pick among what's offered. While other roguelites generally offer more freedom with your kit or try to reduce the frustration of RNG screwing you over, Overlooting embrace a different philosophy. Just flip a coin, bro. Most runs will either go amazingly, because you got lucky with a good item, or you have a general idea of the item you need, or will end horribly because you're trying to make a mana burst build and you cannot get any mage item. There are also mythic items which can do very overpowered things, like massively boosting your armor and regenerating a portion of it every round, or guarantee that every counter attack you performs becomes a critical hit. If you have built toward that stats, it's game over for your enemies. Sadly, this isn't always the case, and sometimes you will have to face a selection of items that you frankly do not have much benefit. A build can struggle, for example, for the first 2 stages and hit a wall in the third one, where the difficulty suddenly ramps up. Mobs gain much more health and becomes even more deadly. The meta progression system in these games revolve around corruption until you clear corruption 5 and then you unlock the endless mode. Every tier of corruption will bring more debuff and add an additional challenge. For example, in the first one you will have lower starting HP, then bosses will become stronger, and so on. Most likely you will be forced to instantly reroll as you start because you will want certain perks. For example, I really like the extra HP regeneration for the dog, and I didn't really like the cat that much personally, and in contrast I really like the shadow. And there is a decent amount of build diversity that you can delve in, but I felt dodge was one of the best stats you should always pick early on just to avoid damage. From there you gather the items you need until you understand the various interaction. Sometimes, however, even with the best laid plans, something can fall apart. You might aim for a mana burst mage, but if you cannot find the stuff and those items, there is nothing you can do. And then that mage might become a poison build instead. The game will ensure that your run isn't completely bricked by letting you collect various items, of course. So if you see valuable items that maybe your build cannot use, well, it's what we call plan B. You can also re-roll items by offering them to the forge, which is something that you should do, and you can also upgrade the item by offering a copy of the same item of the same rarity. So, should you play Overlooting? This is a tough one for me. I'd say yes. However, while the game is enjoyable, it becomes very repetitive, and I mean very repetitive. I also miss the feelings that I got from other roguelites, although it's hard for me to fully describe this with words. Moreover, after failing and experimenting a few times, I always have the bad habit of going back to builds that I know they work, just because they're more effective, and, well, corruption does make the game more challenging. Well, you can try overlooting. Worst case scenario, you can ask Gabe for your pennies back. Just keep in mind that what you see, what you get. While editing this video, I realized that all the footage looks the same because, well, it is. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and maybe subscribe if you're more interested in gaming content of various nature. Have a good day and I will see you in the next video.